Hello, and welcome to English Story Trail. Today, we are going to learn English through one of the most famous stories in British history. It is Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens was one of England's greatest writers. He wrote about poor people, children, families, and life in Victorian England. His stories are still loved all over the world. Oliver Twist is a story about a brave young boy. He is poor and alone, but he never gives up. Along the way, he meets kind people, dangerous criminals, and discovers an amazing secret about his life. As you listen, try to notice new English words and phrases. Are you ready? Let's begin. Oliver Twist. Many years ago, in England, a baby boy was born in a workhouse. A workhouse was a place where very poor people lived and worked. Life there was hard. There was little food, little comfort, and no happiness. The baby's mother died soon after he was born. Nobody knew who his father was. The baby was alone. His name was Oliver Twist. Oliver grew up in the workhouse with many other children. Every day, they worked hard and ate very little. The boys were always hungry. One evening, after supper, the boys looked at each other. "I am still hungry," one boy whispered. "So am I," another said. They decided that someone had to ask for more food. The boys chose Oliver. Oliver was frightened, but he walked to the man serving dinner. He held out his bowl and politely said, "Please, sir, I want some more." The room became silent. The man stared at Oliver. "What did you say?" "Please, sir, I want some more." The man was shocked. Nobody ever asked for more food. The master became angry. "That boy is a troublemaker." Soon, Oliver was punished. The people in charge decided they wanted to get rid of him. A sign was put outside. It said that anyone who took Oliver away would receive money. One day, a man called Mr. Sowerberry came to the workhouse. He made and sold coffins. A coffin is the box that holds a person after they die. Mr. Sowerberry needed a young apprentice. Oliver went to live with him. At first, Oliver hoped life would become better. But it did not. Mrs. Sowerberry was unkind. Another boy called Noah Claypole laughed at Oliver every day. One afternoon, Noah insulted Oliver's mother. Oliver became very angry. He jumped on Noah. The two boys fought. Oliver was blamed for everything. He was locked inside a dark room. That night, Oliver made a brave decision. "I must leave." Very early the next morning, he quietly escaped. Oliver walked for many days. His feet hurt. He was tired. He was hungry. He had almost no money. Finally, he arrived in London. London was a huge city. The streets were busy. There were thousands of people. But Oliver knew nobody. He sat alone, wondering what to do. Then a cheerful boy walked towards him. The boy smiled. "Hello, my name is Jack Dawkins. But everyone calls me the Artful Dodger." Jack wore smart clothes. He spoke quickly. He seemed friendly. "Have you got anywhere to stay?" Jack asked. Oliver shook his head. "No, I know someone who can help." Oliver smiled. He thought his luck had changed. Jack took Oliver through small streets until they reached an old house. Inside lived an old man with bright eyes. His name was Fagin. Fagin welcomed Oliver warmly. "You are safe here," he said. "You will have food and a bed." Oliver felt happy. The other boys laughed and joked together. They played games. Sometimes they practiced taking handkerchiefs from each other's pockets. Oliver thought it was only a game. He did not understand. Fagin was teaching the boys to become pickpockets. One morning, Oliver went out with Jack and another boy called Charlie. The boys stopped near an old gentleman reading a book. Suddenly Jack took the man's handkerchief. Charlie ran away. Jack ran away too. Oliver stood there in surprise. The old gentleman looked up. "My handkerchief," he saw Oliver. "Stop, thief." People began chasing Oliver. Oliver ran because he was frightened. Soon he fell to the ground. A policeman caught him. Oliver cried. "I didn't do it." The old gentleman's name was Mr. Brownlow. A bookseller had seen everything. He told the truth. It wasn't the boy. The other two boys stole the handkerchief. Oliver was innocent. Mr. Brownlow felt sorry for him. "You look ill," he said kindly. "Come home with me." For the first time in his life, Oliver slept in a warm bed. He ate good food. Mr. Brownlow gave him clean clothes. Oliver could hardly believe his good fortune. He wanted to stay forever. Mr. Brownlow liked Oliver very much. There is something special about this boy, he thought. But Fagin became worried. What if Oliver tells the police about us? He sent a cruel man called Bill Sikes and a young woman named Nancy to find him. Nancy had grown up with Fagin. She had made many mistakes. But deep inside, she had a kind heart. One day, Oliver went to return some books for Mr. Brownlow. Suddenly Nancy grabbed him. "There you are." Bill Sikes pulled Oliver into a waiting carriage. Oliver shouted for help. But nobody stopped them. He was taken back to Fagin. Oliver cried. "I want to go back," but nobody listened. Bill Sikes was dangerous. Fagin smiled his cold smile. "You belong with us now." Oliver felt hopeless. A few days later, Bill Sikes planned a robbery. He forced Oliver to come with him. "You are small," Bill said. "You can climb through the window," Oliver begged him. "I don't want to steal." "You have no choice." Late that night, they arrived at a large country house. Oliver climbed inside. But someone heard a noise. Bang! A gun was fired. Oliver fell to the floor. Bill Sikes escaped. Oliver was left behind. The people inside the house found Oliver. Instead of calling the police immediately, they listened to his story. They realized he was only a frightened child. The kind lady of the house, Mrs. Maylie, looked after him. Her niece, Rose Maylie, was gentle and caring. Slowly, Oliver became healthy again. He was happier than he had ever been. Meanwhile, Nancy was becoming more and more unhappy. She knew Fagin and Bill were evil. She wanted Oliver to have a better life. One evening she secretly met Mr. Brownlow. She told him everything. She explained where Oliver was. She warned him about Fagin and Bill. She knew this was dangerous, but she wanted to help. Sadly, Bill Sikes discovered what Nancy had done. He became furious. In terrible anger, he killed her. It was one of the saddest moments in the story. Even today, readers remember Nancy's bravery. After Nancy's death, the police searched for Bill Sikes. He tried to escape. He climbed onto a roof. As he tried to climb down using a rope, something went wrong. He fell. Bill Sikes died. Soon afterwards, the police arrested Fagin. His life of crime was finally over. Now, people wanted to discover the truth about Oliver's family. Mr. Brownlow began asking questions. Slowly, the mystery became clear. Oliver's father had been a wealthy gentleman. Oliver had a right to an inheritance. An inheritance is money or property left by a family member after they die. For many years, greedy people had tried to hide the truth. But now everything was discovered. Oliver finally learned who he really was. Mr. Brownlow became Oliver's guardian. He treated Oliver like a son. Oliver finally had what every child needs: a loving home, kind friends, enough food, a safe place to sleep, and hope for the future. After so many difficult years, Oliver's life became happy. About Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens wrote Oliver Twist in the late 1830s. At that time, many poor children lived difficult lives. Some children worked in factories. Others lived in workhouses. Many had little education. Dickens wanted people to understand these problems. He believed children deserved kindness, education, and hope. His stories helped people think differently about poverty. Today, Charles Dickens is remembered as one of the greatest writers in the English language. His books are still read in schools and homes around the world. What can we learn from Oliver Twist? Oliver Twist teaches us many important lessons. Being poor does not make someone a bad person. Kindness can change a person's life. Good people and bad people both exist, so we should choose our friends carefully. Hope is powerful. Even when life is difficult, we should never give up. Oliver never became cruel. He stayed honest. He stayed kind. And in the end, his goodness helped him find happiness. Thank you for listening to this story. How much did you understand? Could you follow Oliver's journey from the workhouse to his new family? If you enjoyed this story, listen again. Each time you listen, your English will become stronger. Remember, the best way to improve your English is to enjoy using it every day. See you next time on English Story Trail. Happy learning, and don't forget to subscribe.